What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today, and we are back again for these AOR Oceania F2 highlights from the Malaysian Grand Prix. There is the championship standings, as you can see on your screen now. 6 points behind Owens in this championship. This was done actually at the Malaysian Grand Prix. His teammate has beaten us again for some unknown reason. It's happened for the third time this season. It's not funny anymore, but this happened a couple of weeks ago, this highlights package. But first off, let's have a look at the stewards as we look through my qualifying highlights. And unfortunately for Christos, he copped a big penalty for his incident with Preet on the final lap of the Singapore Grand Prix. He copped a 12.5 penalty points plus 10-second time penalty for causing a moderate avoidable collision, plus failing to wait, and add another 10 penalty points for dangerous driving. And also DT copped a 10-second penalty and a 12.5 penalty points onto his tally as well. So the 10 seconds didn't really matter. He retired from the race anyway. But we set our first flying lap. It's a 1:33.1. Not exactly brilliant, but his replay on board my teammate, as you can see, Preet was actually behind or a bit further ahead, but all of a sudden he's just lagged and he's just come straight out right in front of him, and that's pretty much just ruined his qualifying laps straight away. So we did ask Preet in the end to start from the back because of his lag, and I don't think he was the only one in the end. But I mean, Malaysia is not an ideal circuit for me. I just don't know what it is. It just doesn't click. I mean, if you've seen in my other league racing videos, one of them was okay, the other one was not so great. But we're about ready to go here for the second run on this qualifying session. We pretty much went nowhere, really. We're not even got any faster sector times. But as we head out now to the pit lane, you'll be able to see in the bottom right-hand corner, that was not what it looked like before. And there's a reason why, as I quickly had to, I didn't even realize what the hell is going on. But apparently there's some setup glitch or something that happens in online during qualifying. I'm not sure exactly why, but I did get reports, including the people that were in the same party chat as me during this race, that they were getting this setup glitch as well, which was pretty much setting them straight back to a stock setup, which didn't really help my cause. So I had to come all the way back into the pit lane just to get the right setup back on. And as you can tell, I was probably very annoyed at this point in time, because I really wanted to have a second run and try and, well, at least get maybe a top 5, but away we go. We've finally fixed up our setup. The time is not really against us at this point in the qualifying session as we leave. I think it's about a minute left, but as we come through these couple of corners here, you can see that the time is starting to run out big time, and there was just absolutely no hope there. So in the end, I just retired from the session. That was out of the 10s, 10 and 11, but yeah, really no point there in the end. But yeah, that was a pretty disappointing way to end qualifying. But you see that Owens just runs off at turn 1, but that was a good reason he actually retired. So in the end, it's P8 for us. Pretty disappointed in that, if I'm completely honest. But well done to DT360-1X. Gets his first pole position of AOR, so congrats to him. Did a really good lap, only won in the 1:31s. But to get to the race strategy day, I made sure that the setup was right. But coming to the strategy, it was putting me on a 2-stop. But again, like Singapore, that was not going to happen, and pretty much like any other circuit so far. But I'm going to put the medium tyres on and chuck a bit more fuel in it. But I think we're all set to go here for this Malaysian Grand Prix. 5 red lights. Let's do it around Sepang for the final time, maybe in league racing. It's an okay start compared to, I think that was Ruthnik Bird there. Owens very aggressive early on. I think that possibly could be RAK going around here and coming into turn 1. Oh, there's been a tag there from one of the tyre. I think that might have been Ruthnik. Oh, I'm getting punted big time here. I run on the Bulls. I accidentally bashed into the Joker there. Apologies for that, but actually the Joker is back this weekend because for this race, because he has got his brand new wheel. So it's great to see him back racing, but we did miss Formula Dragster, I think, was the only one who missed out, who didn't race this. But we're up into P6. I mean, not exactly the start I was hoping for, but somehow survived all the carnage. Come through, was run a little bit wide there coming into turn 6. Like I said earlier, I just don't know what it is with this circuit. It just doesn't suit me well. I don't know what it is. I'm probably glad it's leaving this F1 calendar, but now we're going to have a move up the inside here of Kaiwas and a McLaren. Up the inside here at turn 1 and make it sticks there. So we're up into P5 now. I think we're going to chase after. I'm not sure which one of the Saubers it is. It's very hard to distinguish which one it is, but it's either Mitchie or DT who's had possibly Mitchie, but and we've lost Hyperdeus, unfortunately. He's out of this race, so must have been a big crash there. I think that's Mitchie because I think DT's still leading this race. So let's have a look at the replays from the start. This is on board with Owens, position 2. Probably a little bit too much wheel spin there compared to his start in Singapore, as DT gets a ripper start there, as I think that's R8K there in the Renault, giving Owens a run for his money down in the turn 1. Somehow he managed to avoid all the carnage behind him, and so did DT, and I think that lagging person was the other one. Somehow avoid all this carnage behind, but we were just one of the unlucky ones. Righto, let's have a look at the replay from Mitchie's point of view. It gets a good start compared to, I think Kaiwas. You see there's a bit of a weird moment there for Owens. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but see what happens in the turn 1. There goes R8K spinning around. I think Mitchie may have just finished him off there. Not intentional, I don't think, but yeah, he was one of the ones that actually survived all the carnage. Ruthnik Bird, this will be an interesting view because he got spun around. And he got a bit too much wheel spin there as well off the start. So a few people bogging down because of the wheel spin. But let's see what happens here coming into turn 1. Oh, he gets punted from someone behind and he went straight into the back of R8K. So here's the replay from the start with the spectator cam from iFens, and I do thank Fens for recording this footage. He was part of the spectator because he got, unfortunately, he had to pull out of the AOR because of his lag. But that possibly could have been a Red Bull that was tagged Ruthnik Bird. As you can see, possibly it was Gibbo, and he's still going. Oh, look at all this carnage. And I think that might have been Gibbo because Formula Dragster, I said earlier, was not here. So somehow we come out of that unscathed, but there's Kaiwas. Yeah, look at the back of the pack here coming into turn 2 now. Still more dramas going. Oh, that's the other Mercedes of Schulte to Aussie that's been punted into the wall then. He's going to come out of the rear of the grid pack there, so not an ideal start for him. And here's Joker's start. Lockie didn't exactly get a great start there, possibly lag involved. Nice ghosting as well, but this might explain why Gibbo. Yeah, it's just Gibbo's just went in very deep there. Just tagged Ruthnik Bird. Oh my God, how did Joker get away with all that? Oh, he's being punted as well. So I wasn't the only one getting punted, but get on the legal overtake actually on me. So had to let that spot go, and actually had to let well, I don't think it was intentional, but Preet just went flying by as well. So it's a relatively okay start for Joker. Coming now through this last flying turn 5. Now a bit further on in this lap. Where are we on? That's up the inside there for Preet, I think, on his teammate, Kaiwas. That might have been actually on lap 2. But here's Hyperdeus's view. It's a good start. I told you Lockie didn't get a great start. I don't think Christos has actually got a good start either. They're heading down into turn 1. You see all the carnage go on further up. There they go. He actually runs a little bit wide there. You see Gibbo just punt. Oh, dear me, look at all that. How Hyperdeus did not get caught up in all that, I have no idea. But nearly goes up the rear end of Christos F1 there in the Williams. It's in his second race. So yeah, he's got to be careful in the case of penalty points because it's not far away actually from getting a qualifying ban. Like I said probably earlier on in the rules, if you get a certain number of points, you get a qualifying ban, and another certain amount of points. I can't remember them off my head memory, but can't remember them off the top of my head, I should say. But there's Hyperdeus now Trying to get a run here onto Joker. Coming into this left-hander, and he just runs wide and off into the marbles at turn 9. But he's on board again with DJR TP17. Now, he started from the rear of the grid. He wasn't one of the laggy ones, I don't think. He just had a terrible qualifying session. But you see here, he just goes up the inside of Lockie there. Goes all to chaos there. Got a little caught up in that and actually got a bit of damage to his front wing. You see they're going right around the outside of, I think that's Preet and I think Christos, and that was the spot they lost to Hyperdeus as well, but gets one back on Christos. Now coming into this left, into turn 3 now. I think it's turn 4, I do apologise, but runs very wide there coming out of turn 4. I think the front wing damage may not be helping, but you see there he's got a bit of screen freezing happening. This is not intentional. Obviously, you got Spagbol there. There's small screen freezing continuing. And there's Exodona, who'd also started from the rear of the pack because of his lag. As I told actually someone else to tell the guys that were lagging to start from the rear of the grid so they wouldn't cause any carnage from the start. And they were pretty okay, let's just say. And you see there's a bit of fight going on here between, I think that's Spagbol. Got the job done on Christos F1 now. Ruthnik Bird is going to have a look up the inside here. There's a bit of contact there between those two. Not much room given, but he goes up the inside and gets the move done. Now Penske going to go around the outside. Not really working there coming into turn 14. But look at this. Christos goes down the inside and 3 wide. Mind you, maybe pushes the Spagbol a little bit wide and Ruthnik Bird. But man, that was a chaotic start. This is the final replay of the start, I promise, but R8K714. I didn't actually realise he actually had a YouTube channel. I'll put his link down in the description below, and everybody else who's got YouTube videos, you can see all their footage. But yeah, that GIF pretty much sums it up there from R8K. I forgot I put that one in, but this is from his video, obviously, but I didn't really forget to take that out. But now he's right down at the back of the pack now, as you can see, a bit sideways coming out of turn 3 there. Actually in P16, I think he is, because there's another 2 behind. But look at all this debris going around the outside. There's Schulte to Aussie, obviously went wide. These two, Spagbol and Christos, have been battling very hard early on. So now R8K going to right round the outside. Very nice move indeed. He's going to hold it. Yes, just. And now he's going to go up the inside of Gibbo, who's actually... He's got the big cross there, but you'll see in the distance, he'll pop up. There he is. Sparks flying there all over for Gibbo. Now we're going to cut a bit further on now with... he's going to have a look here actually on Gibbo coming into this turn 12. See, Gibbo runs very wide there. I'm not sure whether that big X has something to do with it or the lag, but that's a pretty simple move there. And... yeah, pretty simple. Now, let's have a look here what actually happened to Hyperdeus. So he's trying to take back control again and actually gets caught up with, I think that's DJR TP17. That's so unlucky. That's just really unlucky. So this is what it looked like from Penske's point of view. So he's going through, literally, the ghosting car of Hyperdeus. And runs wide coming out of turn 11. Now you can see here, he's going to go, probably got a little caught up on the curb, and he actually gets caught up there. So, I mean, very unfortunate there for both of them, really. But that is racing. What can you say? Just got to cop it there. Now back on board we go with Joker. Yeah, passed up the inside here, I think, from Lockie. Bit of lag involved there, but see if Lockie's going to have to go right around the outside here into turn 5. Yes, he does. The lag may be affecting him here, but I think Joker actually got him back here. I'm not exactly sure. No, he's back. Okay, so lag may be a bit of an issue for Lockie. So Joker's going to have a look at the inside. No, not really, because the lag's affecting him. But you cut back to us now. First couple of laps were pretty exciting at all from my point of view, but now he's actually coming under attack from Preet Singh. He's actually way quicker on the medium tyres even. I don't know exactly how this has worked, but he's going to have a look up the inside here. We weren't having a bar of it. He's going to have to go around the long way here, I think up into turn 11 now. And now he dives it up the inside, bit of contact between us two. The hand of Fury is waving in both our cockpits, but right around the outside is turn 12. I just couldn't keep it in there at the end, but just went back out of it here at turn 14, but actually Preach one a little bit wide as we comes across on us, probably a little bit. That might have been me personally, but now we've got a bit of DRS and actually a bit of front wing damage, but going to use the DRS here to dive it up the inside. Very late dive up the inside there, but Preach runs very wide there. It should have the drive a bit more. I'm not sure exactly whether we put it up into the ridge. Now we do, actually, but then we've got the DRS up our sleeve as well, so this is definitely not working in our favour. Now we cover down coming into turn 1. Should have it done now. Preach's going to go around the outside here, and the proximity arrow looks pretty simple there, and well, I mean, from my point of view, I don't think he was far enough up, but this is what Fen saw on his spectator menu, his spectator view. So let's have a look here. So you see that I'm comfortably up there, but yeah, okay. You can tell how annoyed I was at this point. Let's have a look on board with Lockie's point of view. You can probably see it in the top of your screen there, and there I am spun around, but it's actually going to give Lockie a bit of momentum here to try and get back up on us, but now back cutting to the Joker. Someone's right, wiry wide. He's going to hang it. No, hold it. Just not hang it. Hold it. That might have been a surfing term, but he's got a bit of front wing damage. It has to come into the lane early for his pit stop. So he was doing really great, I must admit, was the Joker. But here's a replay from RAK's point of view. So you see here, Joker just loses the rear end, slides it, and basically manages to hit the middle of RAK's car. RAK is pretty bloody lucky he didn't get any more damage, but now we're starting to come under attack here from Lockie. He's actually got a bit more pace than us. I just don't know exactly what the hell's going on. Again, like Singapore, I mean, the pace was okay in Singapore, but again, I'm just nowhere here with this pace. We lock up here coming into turn 9. He's going to have a look around the outside. Not really there, but into turn 10. Still right behind us, so he's not letting us go here. Now let's see what happens here coming through turn 12. Didn't get a great run through. He's going to try around the outside. Very bold move, but we cover off that inside line there, and should have it pretty much covered there, and yeah. Hold him off for the time being. This is what I looked on board with Lockie's POV. As you can see there, trying to go around the outside. I don't think that'd be rare if that actually happened, but yeah, we managed to hold on for the time being, but this race for me was just completely horrible. Now coming through at turn lap 7 now, as you can see. Oh, I think someone may have been spun there. I think that possibly could have been the Toro Rosso of Lockie. Let's have a look at the replay here. So I think it's RAK putting the move up the inside there. Yes, he does, and pushes him a little bit wide. Oh. I mean, yeah, Lockie didn't agree it was a fair move, but looks pretty fair, I must say. Just probably give him a little rub there, but probably just got caught up on the curb a little bit. But yeah, Lockie's not going so well at the moment. He's dropped back down the field a little bit. Now RAK is actually putting a bit of pressure on us as we run wide here at turn 14. Tries to go up the inside there. Doesn't quite have the momentum. We hold on for the time being. Let's have a look at this replay again. So you see here coming out to 13 and 14. You see the big lock up here. So RAK puts it up there. Just didn't quite get the drive in the end, but might do something here. But we are actually going to pit this lap actually on lap 7. We had to. I had to try something really. This race was just pretty much going nowhere. So into the lane we come. Going to pop on the medium tyres to the end of this race and hopefully do something. And we're going to change the front wing as well. That was the other thing I forgot to mention. So the front wing probably hampered us a little bit, but hopefully should be okay for this rest of this race. So interesting to see what we can do for the rest of this race. But now cut to Owens in front. That's DT 360. That's how to spin the race leader. he was doing so well as well. Now Preet Singh's putting a bit of pressure here, and I think that's possibly Mitchie in the Sauber. Goes up the inside, yes he does, and that's position 2 for Preet. So again, just like Singapore, Preet's flying at the moment, but you see there, now we're coming out from the lap 9, coming into turn 1, we're behind Schulte to Aussie, who's a bit out of sequence here, and coming into... Well, my day's going very well at the moment as we get a little bit more front wing damage. Now we're having a bit of a side-by-side battle here coming into turn 4. Should hopefully outbrake him. He's trying to go around the inside. We'll try and get it around the outside, get a bit more drive, and that's an easy move for us. Now I think Schulte may be under a bit of pressure here from Christos, and possibly Christos, yeah, now he's... You can see on the graphic on the top left, Christos has actually got past Schulte. Now, probably won't be too far until he actually puts pressure on us now, so... He's actually going to have a look here up the inside at turn 9, not quite far enough. He's on the super soft tyres, so this is probably a different strategy for him. But and here's that replay again from Fenz's POV, and you see they're going right around the outside of Schulte to Aussie, trying to see if we can outbrake him. Goes very deep there, and around the outside we go. Pretty simple move there, and Schulte, that's a very nice move from Christos. F1 actually around the outside and runs very wide there coming out of turn 6, I think that was. But now Schulte's still going back down the pack. I think Joker's going to do something here going into turn 9. Yes, he does. Dive up the inside. Very simple move there and up into position. I can't really see it. I think it's 11, possibly. I'm not really too sure, but now we got the race leader coming in for his one and only pit stop. So Preet will now take the effective lead, but he's still going to do the one stop, but he's going to be very quick at the end of this race. As Owen's, it's a nice pit stop there from the Mercedes boys. Onto the medium tyres he goes, and he actually came out right ahead of that laggy person. So I'm not sure exactly what that laggy person, what the strategy was, but he was very quick earlier on. They see Owens with the cold tyres, and Laggy's going to put up the inside, and just look at that drive, superior drive on the slip soft tyres. Very simple there, but now cutting to lap 9, and end of lap 9 actually. You'll be able to see an interesting moment here coming for Christos. And that was very weird, I must admit. When I saw that, I'm thinking, what the hell? Was there any contact between us? And you'll see this replay here. This is what actually happened. So he's nowhere near, and, well, for some unknown reason, his car just flies out of... wants to fly to Narnia or something, and, yeah. What more can you say? Now, RAK is into the lane for his one and only pit stop. You know, chuck on the medium tyres. Very nice, good stop again from the Renault boys, and away he goes. So let's see what he can do here. He's starting to make this comeback very well known there. As you can see there, just comes out behind DT360, who is on the soft tyres. I'm not sure exactly if he's going to get them home or not, but it's going to be difficult, let's just say. As you can see, oh, that's someone spun there. Possibly the Red Bull of Gibbo. Because his race was just absolutely shocking. But now we're going to cut back to us now on lap 10. And I think we're actually going to catch up to Gibbo, who's still spinning around in his Red Bull. Yeah, there he is. So we actually go past him. And I think he's now lapped anyway. But you see in the background there's more yellow flags. I think he spun again. So he's just had a horrible race, really. What more can you say? It's, I think we're about to see some footage from a fence's point of view. So you see there, he spun around there. Now coming in up into turn 14 now. So he lets us through, and just those cold tyres or too much dirt or grass on him, really. And he spun around again, and thank God he ghosted, but yeah, manages to get the car right as, oh, that was close, actually, between one of the Toro Rosso boys. I think that possibly could have been Ruth Nick Burr, but now RAK We get a look here on DT360, and that's actually Kaiwas actually come out in front of both of them now. So Kaiwas is in a good position of P5 at this stage. I think that's possibly his best result so far, but I did say that Gibbo was having a big battle with these Toro Rosso boys, so he's going to have a look here on the Ruth Big Bird. I'm not sure exactly why. He's a lapped car, but probably wanted to find a battle with somebody, but says I think Christos is, or his F1, his ghosted car was coming into the lane, but that's Lockie behind there, behind Gibbo, but let's see what happens here, because actually got a 5-second stop go for ignoring blue flag, so he's going to give it up the inside here and gives him a little touch there, but and I think that, yeah, there is Lockie there, so he obviously didn't quite see him there, but now cutting back to Penske, who's still sliding everywhere coming into turn 13 and 14. Manages to save it just, but yeah, it's not been a great race. But there's a moment here for Spagwell. Takes out the Rolex sign there, so that's now cutting on to, what are we, lap 13, I think this is. And we actually get our first corner cut there for a track warning, actually, for the corner cut. But honestly, the race was just pretty horrible from my point of view. As you can see here now, we're starting to come up onto, I think this is Christos's, yeah, ghosted car. And actually put me off big time there, because they're actually now getting a second warning there for going wide. I don't know exactly how that happens, but that corner was just not nice for me whatsoever. Now cutting further on to lap 15. Now this was a big moment actually, because my screen froze once, and then all of a sudden the screen froze twice, and then the Joker is somehow ahead of me. So my race is just going very well at this stage. I don't know exactly what to think of this. Here's the replay on board with the Joker. You see here coming into turn 6. Now I've got the big X actually, and all of a sudden I just ghosted behind him now. So it was all very crazy. And now finally that laggy person has come into the lane. Lap 15, so I'm not sure exactly how long he's been on the super soft tyres for, but that's a very long stint, I must say. But now we're just going to, there's more yellow flags there in sector 2, I think that's 7 and 8, but you're back on board again with Penske, who's going very wide again at turn 13, 14. Thankfully there was no one behind him, so he didn't lose much spots there, but he's on board with Mitchie. Now you'll see that I did say that Ikai was, that lag is actually in the lane and putting on the soft. I don't know exactly what tyres he put on, but Ikai was just lagging everywhere. Just not helping Mitchie's case, because he won't be too far away. There's his teammate in the background there actually, but so he's going to have a run here around turn 3, and no, he's not. Kai was actually in front of him there, but this was actually earlier on. I think Kai was actually got the move done on Mitchie, so this race is still horrible for us really, as we run very wide there at a turn 8. So now the Sauber boys, as DT, I think this is up the inside of Mitchie, so he's got a bit of pace later in this race. Not sure exactly what he's got another stop to go or not, but he's Joker, and that's actually, yeah, DT's actually come into the lane and put on the medium tyres. A bit surprised he didn't put on the super soft tyres. Whether he had any fresh ones left or not, I don't know, but very simple there for him. And now lap 18 for us. You can see there is actually the two of them we were talking about, but and now we get our third warning, which means the 3-second time penalty up our sleeve, which was just going great. That pretty much sums up my day really, as now I think this R8K having a look up the inside of Mitchie coming in the final corner. Can't quite get it done, but he's got DRS up his sleeve. Now let's see what he can do down here into turn 1. Yes, he's got the momentum. He's running very low on fuel at the moment. It gets up the inside, and that's effectively the podium, I think, for R8K. I think it's a... not sure exactly if he's been on the podium so far this season, but now cut back to us as we're coming through this dreaded corner here. That's 13 and 14, and again we just run wide, so the corner was just completely horrible really. It's nearly like that chicane at Monza, but now Preet finally comes in puts on the medium, puts on the super soft tyres, I should say, starting on the mediums from the back of the grid because of the lag. But and now Owens effectively takes the lead back, but he's going to be a bit under pressure here from Preet. He's got some fresh rubber up his sleeve, but I did say from Mitchie's point of view that Okai was lagging. Now he's on board with his teammate, and you see that lag is actually big time confirmed, because you'll see him, I think, pop up a bit further up on the road, goes down the inside, does DT, up in turn 4. Looked very simple there. Coming around this turn 5. He should come around now, somewhere now. He's actually still behind. No, and now he's actually, it took a long bloody while actually, but again coming through turn 14 and just sliding the car everywhere. Lap 21, I think this is 21 anyway, I've lost count what it is, but I did say Owens was going to be under a bit of pressure here from Preet, and that has been solidified. Because Preet's starting to put a bit more pressure here on the race leader and championship leader. He's going to gain a few more points than me at this stage, is Owens, so it's going to help his championship out big time. But now coming through, he managed to survive that little battle there, but just see how much pressure is on him at the moment. Coming through turn 6 now. Preet's still there, he's not letting him go there, but we might have to come back to this battle, but Owens holds on for the time being. Now we're coming through turn 13 and 14 again, and as you can tell from the bottom right of your screen, the DRS has for now failed. So all in all, that pretty much sums up my day. The car was just completely horrible. Now Owens, back on board with Owens. I think from what I can tell, Preet actually got a bit of wing damage here, and let's have a look here on what Fenz's view looked like. So he was watching Preet's view. Again, the lag may have something to do with this, I don't know, but coming through turn 13 and 14, you just see here, watch that, you just see a little bit of wing fall off there off to the left, and it's still on here, even though with a little bit of front wing damage. Preet's still got some pace in those super soft tyres. Owens has to cover here going into turn 1 on lap 23 now. And I was hoping that this would end badly, but I mean in points-wise anyway, because I wanted to, I'm going to lose points big time here to Owens in this championship battle, but still going here for the lead of the race. Preet's going for 2 in a row here, as actually Owens runs a little bit wide out of turn 4. Just manages to hold on, only just, but you see the amount of pressure is being put on him at this stage of the race. This race win is still on, but managed to hold on for the time being. Now Owens has a big lock up into turn 1. Preet looks up the inside there. Not quite enough, up far enough, but again holds on for the time being. So now cut back again to our POV. Nothing really was going right, so I just told Jeff to shut up for the rest of the race. It was just going horrible, let's put it that way. I've already mentioned it. I've probably rambled on many a times about this, but coming slowly through here again, and I think there was another yellow flag actually in the turn 13 and 14. This may have something to do with it. Now on board we go with Penske. Have a look at his left front tyre, will you? It's up at 75%. How he hasn't got a puncture yet, but he's actually under pressure here from Rhythmic Bird on the soft tyres, so manages to hold on just. Let's see what happens coming down into turn 12. Scott's a little bit caught up on the curb and off onto the dirt he goes. And well, Penske's day is going very well at this stage, but I'm really surprised he hasn't got a puncture out of all that, the left front. But now cutting back to our POV, there might have been a spinner up further up the road there, but I don't think it really affected us. It probably was a lapped car, possibly Gibbo again, but now coming through turns 13 and 14 again. There's a bit of a battle going on in front here, and oh, there's actually a bit of a carnage there. Oh, I think it's the Joker actually in position 8, so may have been caught up there, and use a replay on board with Lockie's POV because he actually got pretty close here to the Joker, so as he was trying to gather the car back up again. So very lucky. So let's see what happens here with the Joker. And who's that in front there? Possibly the Red Bull of Gibbo. Who else? So Gibbo is actually letting me go through here, I think. But normal on the racing line, and
the front wing is in a really bad state.
well, there goes his front wing. So have to quickly get going again and see what he can do. But it's the second last lap of the race. I don't know exactly why you would do that, but that's actually Gibbo's now retired from this race. But let's have a look at this from slow-mo, from Ben's point of view. You can see there, Gibbo's just still in there. I don't know exactly why he would still be in there, even though he is a lap car, I should say. But yeah, that's pretty much ruined Joker's race. And he's actually had to come into the lane on the last lap of the Grand Prix. So this is going to cost him points big time here. I'm not sure exactly whether he's actually scored much points. I'll have to go back again. But anyway, we come across the line, slide it out on the final corner. It's P8. We'll take 4 points. It's better than nothing. It was better than 2 points, actually, but it's just a horrible race. Look at Penske's tyres. How has he survived on that? 91% on the left front. And they're still going. But, yeah, Owens has won the race. Obviously, that's his, what are we up to? Second win of the season, I think. So, congrats to him. And both the Renault boys of Preet and R8K on the podium as well. So possibly could be R8K's first podium, if I'm mistaken. But I'm sure the lads will tell me otherwise. But yeah, there we go. There's the results on your screen there. Owens, Preet and R8K are your winner, your podium. Laggy there in fourth, so we finish up in P8 in the end. So, I mean, it was a pretty horrible race, but to say the least. But as you can see, the championship, it's now going into Owen's favour. That 6-point advantage that he had earlier is now turned into 27-point advantage. Preet still there in third, Laggy in fourth. R8K is rocking it up into P5 as well. But Constructors is a little bit different. Renault has now joined Ferrari at the top, equal top on the hunt, so they've rocketed up. Mercedes now back into P3. The only other move is really Toro Rosso finally got some points on the score sheet, so they've pushed Red Bull down to 9th, and Williams still yet to score. But all in all, horrible race. Let's just move on. The Japanese Grand Prix should be a better one. If you've seen any of my other league videos, you'll know why. But that's it for today's video, guys and girls. So if you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. Comment down below on what you thought about that race. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more AOR F1 on F1 2017, plus plenty more video gaming content. And social media links will be down in the description, plus everybody else who's got videos. All their links will be down in the description. But for the moment, guys and girls, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.